My first idea was going to be a romantic thriller of a girl who is given a mission to murder a boy. This girl is a secret agent, so her job obviously has her killing people and finding secret files and stuff. However, in this case, she ends up falling in love with him in order to gain his trust. The sound effects I was going to use were going to be the suspense music, obviously when she's about to kill him, the romantic music for when she sees him and he sees her, and there's some kind of interaction, and when he's getting ready to see her and stuff. And obviously I was going to use dialogue and voiceover. The reason why I'm going to be doing that is because I want the audience to be able to hear what is happening and see what with their own eyes, like not instead of a narrator actually telling the story. I want them to actually see it as if it was happening in real life, in real time. Locations, I've chosen to choose Brighton Pier first of all because it's such a romantic area to be at, especially when there's no one around, and at sunset it looks a lot beautiful. It looks a lot more beautiful. I've also chosen to do the town daytime and night. Daytime for when the girl is like walking past him or she's trying to get his attention somehow, and nighttime so that when the dates are taking place, and the cafe is where the scene will take place of when she murders him, like outside the cafe if she's about to like say goodbye to him or she's about to meet him. Cinematography, I've chosen to add parallel editing as one of the ways I'm going to edit this movie, as whilst he's getting ready to meet her, she's preparing her gun. And I'm also going to be having loads of different types of shots taken, long shots, wide shots, medium shots and stuff. Characters, I've chosen a girl, obviously, the boy, the Asian boss. I'm probably going to make this a shadow, so you'll only be able to see the shadow of this man and just him or her holding the phone. My second idea is a horror movie on a distinctive doll that keeps appearing in a boy's life. The reason why I've chosen to do something like this is because I have been a bit inspired by the movie Chucky, and I thought it would be quite funny. It would be quite scary to have it in like real time, and you'll be able to see the reactions and how every time the doll appears, someone dies, but it's not exactly the doll killing the people. So yeah. The first sound effect, the sound visual effects I'm going to be using will be the thriller music, of course, the distant haunting music, so that's like the screeching of something and the screams of the people dying and stuff, and heartbeats for when something's about to happen. I'm also going to be using After Effects to create the murder scenes and make them a lot more dramatic. I'm also going to, for locations, I'm going to be using a room, preferably a room where there's no one in there except from the boy, so it can be like his house, the cafe, and a dark alleyway. The props and characters I'm going to be using is obviously the doll, the boy, fake blood, camera effects from After Effects, and editing style will be POV and continuity. My third idea is a comedy of a girl who is madly in love with a boy. That's meant to say boy, my bad. Who she doesn't know or is already taken from someone, however that's a boy, so basically the boy is gay, and it's quite humorous, quite funny to see her reaction at the end. For the sound and visual effects, there'll be voiceovers and dialogues of her actually walking around and be like, oh god, he's so beautiful, that kind of stuff. Cinematography, there'll be loads of long takes for when she's walking and looking at him. 180-degree shot of a POV shot of when she's looking at him through the binoculars, things like that. Reaction shots and close-ups. Editing style will be POV. The characters I'll be using will be just the girl in love and the boy, and the props will be the binoculars and like a phone that she's like taking pictures of him from and stuff. Idea 4 will be a comedy of two friends who are cursed to always speak their mind. Now this is very interesting to me because I've never done something like this, and basically it's quite humorous to know that, the idea of being able to speak your mind literally because you have no other choice. So for this I'll be using voiceovers, and I'm going to be using two perspectives, so the mind and reality. So every time the mind says to do something, in reality the person will do it. And for the location, I've chosen town because it will be a lot more funnier to do this in a crowded place where people are around, and every time someone goes by, a comment is made, funny, rude, all that kind of stuff. the editing style I haven't actually chosen one at the moment, but I'm probably thinking of doing a parallel editing type of one, or I'm just going to be using POV mainly. The characters will be just the people there, so the two friends. I'm also going to be buying actually a black robe for the person who curses them, makeup to make them look a lot more scary and stuff, and then yeah. Idea 5 will be a POV of a movie, or a POV movie of how life is seen for a person who is unable to hear, and then when he is finally given the chance to hear again. Now this is the whole idea of New Arrival. This all relates to New Arrival actually, but this one relates a lot more to New Arrival, as the New Arrival will be the ability to hear again, and it's quite special. This is a drama, so it's quite a sad story, but you know, it's got a happy ending. Sound effects, I'll be using voiceovers throughout the whole time. The narrative is obviously the person narrating, because he can't, so he's narrating his own life, he or she. The camera sees basically what she sees, or he sees, so it will be a POV editing style, and it will be following the action continuously. The props I'm going to be using will just be the character really smartly dressed, and they're really they're very intelligent, so they're going to be wearing glasses, and you know, they're quite a nice person and stuff. And I wanted the location to be at Brighton Pier, so that you can see the sun and the sunset, and obviously in a room where the doctor scene will be created. For my final idea will be a romantic thriller of a couple who are both lying to each other, as they both are secretly superheroes. Now this is really funny to me, because this comes from the idea of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I think. Well, I can't actually, no, Smith, I can't remember. Okay, but basically, yeah, that's the story. Obviously we're going to be using musical orchestra type of music, so that's like the hero music that you hear in superhero movies. Location, I'm going to be using the beach, because there's a lot of space for the superheroes to like run and save people, and it's a lot more dramatic. And woodlands, if I can actually go there, but yeah. Props and characters, I'll just be using capes and costumes and stuff like that. The characters will obviously just be the two people, and then the volunteers who will be saved by different situations. Cinematography, I'll just be using a lot more wide shots. I don't really want to go into detail of this idea, because I'm not really sure on how I'm going to be able to do this one. And editing style will obviously just be parallel editing, as two things are happening at two different times. But the one idea I really want to go through with is idea 3. So yeah, goodbye.